Now, inside Adelaide's grand old buildings, you're likely to find some remarkable wood carving. But these days, there's not much call for woodcarvers, and the craft could have all but died out if it wasn't for organisations like the South Australian Woodcarving Academy.
Out of this unprepossessing building in St Peter's, beautiful things emerge. It's the home of the South Australian Woodcarving Academy. Two of the students are 88-year-old Tress Kenny and 11-year-old Harry Roth, the oak and the acorn of the workshop.
It's so therapeutic, it's so calming, and I've liked it. Of course, I must have been about 73 when I started, and here I am. I still want to go on until I'm 90.
I like when you finish, it's really good to have something that you've made out of wood, and yeah, it looks good, so.
How are you going, Tess?
While their passion for woodcarving is shared, their paths here differed somewhat. Tress Kenny is a country girl. She grew up learning if you can't make do, then make it yourself. Amongst other things, she made bullets during World War II. These days, along with woodcarving, she also knits and gardens. Harry Roth is in Year 6 at Walkerville Primary School. He likes Xbox and Nintendo when he's allowed to play them. The Roths wanted their son to come here to learn an old-fashioned hobby. For her part, though, Tress Kenny faced resistance at home.
My husband was not very keen on me doing it, but unfortunately he died, and 3 months later I was doing wood carving.
The Academy has been going for 24 years. Without it, owner Ken Veer believes the skills of wood carving would soon be lost to South Australia.
Because it's not being done anymore as a trade here. I was the last woodcarving apprentice in Adelaide, and I started my apprenticeship in 1965, and I don't have an apprenticed, and because there's no more work for them to do anymore. So once I'm gone, that's it, in this state anyway.
He says woodcarving went, along with much of the local furniture industry, to somewhere else with cheaper labour. But the Academy does much more than give people a hobby and keep an old skill alive. Michael Maunders is now assisting with teaching. He started here as part of a recovery program from a car crash.
I just took to this like a duck to water, and really it's been a lifesaver for me that I'm allowed to express myself the way I have, and teaching is just absolutely wonderful.
We've had accident victims in here from car accidents, from people that suffer from depression. They come in and they start carving, and a lot of those symptoms seem to go away.
Whatever it is that brings people here, Ken Veer says everyone starts at the same place.
Now, there's nothing on these three pieces here that isn't on everything that we carve. So basically, once you've learned how to carve this, you can carve.
He says he's never had a failure. It just takes some people a little bit longer than others.
No, small cut. We're going to dig and then going to come back up there. Just relax your hands. That's it.
Once they're mastered, those same basics can turn this into this, or in the case of Karl Darms, a statue of the father of the Protestant movement, Martin Luther, which Ken Veer says is the first life-sized carving in the Academy's history.
I always admired Martin Luther because he had courage. He stood up to the Roman Empire as a single man.
Karl Darms has been carving his statue for 2 years, and one day he hopes Martin Luther will stand in the foyer of his local Lutheran church. It does take ambition and dedication to ignore the splinters and follow a project through. The wood the carvers work with is often scavenged from people's yards or demolition sites. But no matter where it's from, Tress Kenny says there's not much you can't do with it.
Oh, my lounge suite, china cabinet, they're the big ones, mirrors. But every time I make something, the family say to me, his name's on that.
For the moment, Harry Roff is happy to have his name on something a little more modest.
It's bookends, and I'm going to put a frog and a boot onto them. It's better than just a plastic thing that you go buy from the shop.
But ambition being what it is, Harry Roff's planning to carve a wooden horse, which he says would be very cool. Tress Kenny's ambition is to keep on carving.
Because I'm so jolly independent. And I like it. I do, I really love it. Oh yes, even if we started at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd be here.